Hey everybody, it's savagelandsnews coming in today with a really important video for those of you who are out here trying to be a competitive flesh and blood player. If you're walking into your first calling, your first battle hardened, your first pro tour event, and you're trying to crack the top 50, get to day 2, crack top 8, right? There's a skill you really need to understand, and that's analyzing your mistakes and watching your gameplay and reflecting on your losses. Instead of just chopping it up to variance or bad draws or your bad matchups, right? You really need to understand how to make every matchup as favorable as possible, how to isolate all of those tiny, tiny lines that you can pull out to make a bad matchup into an even matchup into a favorite matchup. It's something I've applied. I did it last season. I took Phi, supposedly an unbeatable deck as Rhinar. And I walked away last season, 2 callings, 4 pro quests, and I dropped a single game to Phi. And I managed to get the crack back in top 8 and take him down. So this time, we're going to be looking at a video against Lexi, my new current target. This is Eli, who was the top 8 Lexi at San Jose before Lexi was good. I believe he even cracked top 4. So he's a phenomenal Lexi player. And in this game, I get beat pretty badly. And there's a couple lines that he did that I have not seen Talishar Lexis pull off that punished me so severely that I got beat by basically 10 life, right? So here, we're going to watch the gameplay in its entirety. And then afterwards, I'm going to comb over the video. And we're going to point out all of the places I could have made some improvements, the lines I made mistakes on. And then if you guys notice any, throw them down in the comments below because this is a tough deck to crack. Let's jump into it. Okay, this is a terrible first turn. Absolutely terrible. Against an aggro deck that we really, really wanted to do damage on turn 1 for. Let's dump these cards, dig for Blood Rush. I started 61 cards here. Mostly because I didn't know what to cut, and I'm experimenting with some new cards. We're just going to punish them if they load an arrow. That is our goal. Punish them if they load an arrow at all. I think we're waiting on them to decide on their instant window. I mean, we could do 2 free damage here, but then they get a free arrow, possibly. Is it worth it to do 2 free damage, or should we start off with an arsenal? Let's just wait. Okay. So now we have a pocket card. They 3 of a kinded. Wow, we should have attacked. Oops. But they didn't have an arsenal at least, right? We prevented them to have a 5 to 6 card hand in turn 1 with the 3 of a kind. So we're going to be blocking here. Unfortunate. Maybe we try and save this humble to see what they do, what they do to us. Bolton shot, +1, threatening a reload. They can't play Rain Razors, so I think we just block. Okay. Scabskins out of the way. 1 more activation. So pretty safe Rain Razors for us here, or safe 3 oak, right? Not getting punished that hard unless they bullseye bracers, but if they do, we're willing to throw our hand in front of it. Let them burn their equipment this early would be wonderful, actually. So, Voltaire activation 2. Gonna load something. As long as it is not a Bolton shot, they really can't do anything else. Of course it is. Sucks, but whatever. So we survived 1 Rain Razor's turn. Wow. Pretty good, to be honest, unless this is another Bolton shot, which it is. We're throwing our equipment in front of it. Infecting. So they're trading us 8 and an arsenal, and we can just fire back 8. I mean, we 3, 4, 5, 6. We could stop this, but then our retaliation is nothing, and they're just going to attack us, right? So let's just take the 8. 1 piece of equipment for 1 piece of equipment, whatever. They're going to be ahead on Arsenal cycle, as always, because it's Lexi. And I'm pretty sure Eli plays a very frosty version. So this is probably a frosty card. We'll see. Will they take all 8? Will we be tied, or are they going to block? Okay, giving us some cards. Probably can't use their whole hand. It's the new problem with Lexi. She can actually block really well. So frustrating. Crazy damage and can block. Gross. Okay. So we're losing, but we got our blood rush. So we're gonna hope that it's just a death touch being threatened. Delish. Wow. Their first turn was pretty nuts, man. They drew well. Okay. At least this is an Arsenal drill shot. Oh, lame. Drill shot's so good. We have no Arsenal, so 3-card blood rushing with Tunic is kind of dangerous. But if I just block with my equipment, I give up so much equipment, right? So we're 3-card blood rushing here, probably. Or we might just stick it in Arsenal, to be honest. Stop the death touch. Depends what this next arrow is. Pay 1 or avoid discarding. Oh, what a turn. And then death touch. Wow. What a wombo combo. We could stop it, but then we lose Tunic for the rest of the game, and 1 Frostbite ruins all of our D-reacts. Disgusting. Okay, well. We're just getting bent over. Bent over. We're going to have to hope this Blood Rush works out. But they have no Arsenal, so there's a small chance we can live in Blood Rush next turn. Small chance. Fucking inertia, dude. What a good inertia. Incredible. Incredible. Perhaps should have blocked it, but whatever. And he doesn't even take leaking damage. Absolutely disgusting. I think we're going to have to scabs to do any value here. Okay. Five go again. Block it. Now we just have to stall for life. Okay. Load and shoot. What is it? Heat Seeker for 5. 6. Okay. So we did nothing but 2 damage there and stopped him from getting a free Arsenal, which I guess is okay. We lost our best card. He has all the answers right now. All of our equipment's gone. Okay. So 4-card hand to 4-card hand once again. Lexi's better at 4-card hands than we are. So there's that. But maybe we can get away with a single block this turn and go for the Savage Feast line. Maybe. He only has 2 activations and no gloves, right? Okay, pass. Falcon Wing for 4. Yeah, we'll take 4. Rain Razors? Or what's going on here? There's only 1 instant. I mean, I guess it could be also Lightning Press. That'd be gross. And it's Rain Razors. Pass. Taking 6. Okay. Load. Pass. Drill shot. Irrelevant on hit. So we took 9. Now we have to hit on the scabs, or otherwise we lost that trade pretty badly. No. Let's hope we pull something hot off the top here. Okay. Okay, well, this is actually pretty good. So if he gives us any cards, he's taking damage. And then it's just hope we find a Blood Rush, right? Because now we can't survive anything. Okay. So we're coming in for the full 7. So decent trade, I guess. He probably has Codex in his hand or something like that, but whatever. We can't do anything else. We really want to get something in our arsenal so we can't get Codex abused. It would be nice to get a D-React in our arsenal and play Humble. That would be best case, but it's okay to put this in arsenal too. Like there's a chance he double loads here. Oh, what does he hit? Death Touch. So we know that's coming next turn. End turn. Oh, we're going to Scabs again. Any value we can get. No. I mean, we could just make it awkward to block. And pitch. We could pitch this. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Yeah, let's just make it awkward. More awkward to block. Just make it awkward to block. Kind of a weird trade there, like not getting any buff out of it, but like maybe that's the card he wants to defend with, right? Whatever we can get, make it a little harder for him. He can't flip this arrow without his hero ability, so he has to stuff this. We would have much preferred to hit on Scabs there. We have Tunic for the ice flip, though. So this is safe. I think we did make it a little hard for him. He does have Snappies still, so like Humble doesn't end that much. Like you could just arrow Snappies, reload, load. But it does make them use Snappies on a turn maybe they didn't want to. Maybe. I'm starting to think you just have to roll a lot in this matchup. Like every turn you can, roll. Roll, roll, roll. If you can get a claw in, whatever. But they're thinking. Okay. Stuff in it. So they have a 3-card hand, which is okay. They're looking out for Pummel. Interesting. They're worried about Pummel. I mean, this is a big Pummel target, right? Okay. Still a weird block. Like if it was yellow. Searing Shot. Codex. They're going to get a free arsenal. Is it broken? Let's see. Codex. Ponder. So we really want to go for like a roll into CNC would be our best case scenario. Or just threaten CNC in general. Buy more time. Find a Blood Rush anywhere in the deck. Probably swap this out and just go deeper. Okay. Pretty good 1-card play, though, unfortunately for us. Okay. Let's see if they want to put this in their arsenal or not. Just buying more time. That's all we're trying to do here. It's 2 more arrows. Keep him at 3-card hands. He's at 35 cards left, which is actually, I mean, there's still 2 3 Oaks in there. So he has a lot of cards left. But he's going to shoot a 3-card hand, maybe lose his whole arsenal. Right? Pitch, load, shoot, shoot. We have every D-React ever known to man. So, Codex. Off the top of the inertia. Get this out of here. We're going to spend our whole hand, I guess. We're just going to dig this turn. The last thing we want to do is draw a Blood Rush here. We don't want to let him hit either. We're going to get inertia. Okay, that's fine. It lost some value there, but we might be able to chase it. How did he... What was it? 3 was rolled? Probably greedy, but now we get to dig deeper next turn. We're just trying to find Blood Rush at this point. There's the 3 Oak Rain Razor's turn coming. Okay. 29 cards left. So many cards. How many reds? Not very many. Only 1 Codex. It's got 5 codexes left. It's disgusting, dude. Can't find a blood rush to save our lives. Sedation. We are probably gonna top deck. we're gonna discard blood rush here if I do this. I mean, this is anti whatever tag, but sure. Cancel. No, let's do it. How many cards are we gonna lose? Would we lose blood rush? Nope. Okay. Took 2 damage though. 3 damage. This will cost a whole. Four? Gonna get punished. It's only coming in for 1 damage. It's either rain razors or boots. Okay. Yeah. Oops, didn't need to like there. For some reason I still counted for the. That's a fucking 6-card hand they have there though. Honestly, if we just were able to play that blood rush, this game would be so much closer. But we got hurt pretty bad there with that set of events that occurred. Maybe after I rewatched the video, just eating that turn of damage for blood rush was good. Okay, our opponent said, "Give me a moment." I mean, there's like no chance he's got a free clicking token here, so he's probably gonna block it. It's probably what I'm gonna guess. Free quicken, take it or take 8. Wonder if taking this was worth it. We took 3 damage to do 3 damage. I mean, I guess we didn't know what on hits yet though, and we lost a D-react this next turn. And a tome. We haven't fired a single tome. Could be at way more health. One's at the bottom, one's in the graveyard, so we never get to see it in action. We lost one of our last copies of a D-react, right? I think 1, 2, 3. So we have all our sinks. All of our fates are gone. We're out of D-reacts. We have no way to stop all these 4 barragings. Like, we need a blood rush. We need to survive 6. Like, he needs to do less than 16 damage somehow, and then we need to blood rush him and kill him. That's like the only way we win here. Yeah, it's like the only way we win. Okay. So now we just need 1 blood rush and to live. Wow, we can do it. If we can live. So he's going to immediately punish us with this. He's going to give it a go again. Let's just see. Let's make him do it. Snapdragons. Okay. Rain razors. Oh, it's the only thing that could have stopped us from blood rushing here. Legitimately the only thing. 2 more arrows and we're dead. So we have to block. Sucks. Okay. Of course it's a Bolton shot. Why wouldn't it be? Of course it is. Of course. And then if we don't block it, we die. And if we block it, we die. Does reload do anything for him? Fuck it. Let's go to the last moment. He has no other way of getting go again. Of course. Okay, let's think about this. We're going to have to discard. So 1 gone. We can risk our life on this. We could cheese in an alpha. We have to block 6. So this could be replaced. We die, maybe. Let's just assume. And then we block. We have to keep a 6 in our hand. This one. Do we die? We don't die. Oh my god. He managed to get a 0 cost in Arsenal. How did he even get that there? Was that his last reload? He didn't even... Wow. I have no equipment left. God damn it, dude. Insane. Both turns he managed to turn off our blood rushes. And he gets a full fucking arsenal. What the fuck? Good game. They all came at fucking breakpoints of 5 somehow. Obnoxious. All right, that's the game. Painful, right? So painful. I was pretty tilted that day. I'd been bashing my head against Lexi literally all day. Hadn't watched any of the footage. Trying 3, 4, 5 different combinations of decks into it. Each one of them very different from the last. So it wasn't easy for me to keep playing games with different cards and different strategies and blocking, not blocking, hybrids, right? Aggressive, whatever. So, I was clearly a little frustrated. But there's some very clear misplays in that list, right? In that game. And let's jump into those misplays right now. All right, so here is possibly the first mistake. It's possible. This is a much harder one to analyze because we don't know what 2 cards they have in their hand, right? Swinging 8 here is basically the entirety of that 10 health deficit we had, right? So they might have been able to get an entire arrow in arsenal, but could they have really benefited from it that much, right? I mean, they maybe got 4 to 6 more damage off, right? But they'd be at 32. And then maybe we would have felt more incentivized to, hit him with that blood rush, right? So this is maybe play number 1. Maybe. All right. So here's another reflection point. So here we're presented with 6 with an on hit, right? On hit being 2 more damage. So basically, man, basically a 1 for 8. Really good. It's right in our numbers, right? Who swing big was a mistake, but this card's fine. But anyways, we can stop it, right? If we gave up our helmet and our boots. I don't think this is a game losing decision, right? Because we know that we're going to crack back with swing big. We know that possibly they'll take 8, but they're most likely going to just take 5. So we're really trading 8 additional life to do 5. That's a bad trade, right? Especially on like a 3-oak turn where they pop their bracers, they pop their equipment. Like we probably could have stuffed this, kept swing big in arsenal, and crack back when they didn't have such a massive turn. So it's, not the gravest mistake we made, but it's quite possibly a pretty bad mistake, especially because we know drill shot exists in their deck. So more often than not, your equipment gets burned in this matchup in the first 3 turns, 4 turns, right? It's really hard to keep your equipment alive unless you see a lot of D-reacts. So next, let's look at the next mistake. All right, in my opinion, this is the biggest mistake. This is probably the one that cost us the game, right? So our opponent flips Death Touch. We know it's on the table. And this was just a bad habit I picked up from other Lexi players I've been playing against that day, where, in all honesty, Death Touch just does 8. Right? It's a 1 for 8. I never even considered the fact that he was going to take away my arsenal here. So we know what his turn is, right? We know Drill Shot is going to come in. We could just throw our equipment at it. And this kind of also points out that maybe we should have used our equipment last turn. We'd also have a swing big on our arsenal for Blood Rush here, making it a clean 20. We could have blocked a little bit better. So we just did not expect an ice card being played out of hand, and then super didn't expect Death Touch to come in with an inertia token. So we lost an entire Blood Rush. We lost damage, and and we did nothing as a crackback. Nothing. This is the game losing decision, right? We knew this was on the table. We should have expected it. Next time, right? Next time we'll know. All right, this one was harder to catch, but this is just not understanding Lexi's patterns very well, right? So here I overblock and I lose 1 entire defense. I could have just used a card there and my helmet stopped it, which stopping 2 additional damage is probably worth the helmet, especially with all the drill shots coming around. I would have had 3 cards in my hand here. And I could have stopped this with those 2 cards, blocked it, kept the Reckless Swing in my hand, and then I could have gone for the Scab Skins Tunic Pitch of Blue double claw line, right? Which is significantly more value than wasting our helmet, doing 2 damage off reckless swing, and ineffectively blocking that turn, right? So we lost possibly 6 damage on this trade. And you see these points are adding up, right? We found 6, we found a couple over there, we found an entire blood rush. If we had just maximized our plays here, we'd probably be in a much better spot. All right, here's another one. All right, when we're this behind, in all honesty, holding gambler's gloves for no reason is probably a mistake. I should have rolled for it here because it nets me 3 additional value and threatens humble, and we get to keep the D-react, right? I mean, it could have ended our turn, but, you know, just sending 6 doesn't do much, you know? They can block this if they choose. So I think we could have squeezed out maybe some more value there. Probably one of the riskier lines. Probably wouldn't really want to rely on this, but if we know the direction the game's heading already at this point, so maybe it's worth it. All right, here's the next one. Inertia token on the field, so we have to irresponsibly use all of our D-reacts. And then I go for a sink, right? And I choose to sink the card here, which lost me a whole point of damage for no reason because I traded a 6 attack with an intimidate for a blue barraging. There's also a really high chance there. I mean, knowing that there's 2 blood rushes left and we've had quite a few turns, turn 8 at this point, that I just drew a blood rush off the top and then I would have to immediately inertia to the bottom. So I lost the damage and I could have lost blood rush. That's a pretty big mistake. So this one was quite possibly a mistake too. He only has 3 cards in his hand and we risk Beast Within, take 3 damage off the top, lose a D-react, lose a tome, could have hit a blood rush that we know we haven't seen in forever at this point, to get 3 cards back. And that's pretty rough, right? So all this would be threatening is a sedation shot. So it's whatever, you know. And we still have the swing big in our hand, so we could have stopped that. Just let it hit. Drill shot has no relevance to us anymore. So we could have taken a little bit of damage, swung 8 back. Right? Instead of taking all of that damage to swing big at claw. You know what I mean? The claw we basically paid for with our life. So almost no point. All right. So there you have it, right? Those are 7, probably some more that I didn't even notice, different plays in that game where I made mistakes. Turn 1, I gave up 2 to 8 damage, right? That's a lot. You know, depending on if he had 2 arrows in his hand and he decided to block or not, right? That's a huge lead in the beginning of the game. If they were 2 blocks, right, we would have gotten 4 damage out of that play. Play number 2 that I highlighted, I could have saved 8 life if I had just blocked with my equipment that I ended up not being able to use appropriately later in the game, right? 8 life would have had a blood rush or a swing big in our arsenal for that blood rush turn. Play 3 that I highlighted, we lost an entire blood rush bellows. Honestly, we could have just eaten that turn. We would have had if we had blocked better the turn before that, we would have had a swing big in our arsenal. We could have blocked a little bit with our armor, cracked back with 20, and pulled tempo. But we lost the entire blood rush because we didn't really understand the nature of lexi. Play 4, we blocked incorrectly, and we lost 1 to 4 damage off of that, right? Play 5, probably the least important play that I identified. But we were already losing, and we kind of knew that it was going to end soon unless we drew a blood rush. So dying with gambler's gloves alive in this game meant I didn't use them appropriately. Okay. To play 6, lost 1 damage off of that trade with my crown. Could have lost my blood rush bellows there, right? 1 damage, not that much. But with all of these, you know, 8 damage, 8 life, 1 to 4 damage, 3 damage, 1 damage, right? That's the deficit that we just lost this game to. Play 7, we lost 3 damage to Blood Rush, or to Beast Within, right? That means on that final turn where he locked us, we could have actually eaten an arrow and crack back with Swing Big. He was at 10 life. If he took it, he'd go down to 2. I mean, not saying he would, but if he did, we could have won with a Reckless Swing. So if you add all of that together, right, that's way more health gained and damage prevented and damage dealt than we lost by. So I think that just goes to show how important it is to do this regularly, review your games, analyze them, and become a better player. I hope to see you guys at the top 8 tables of all of your events, all of these main events. I want to see more Reinars out there winning. I hope you guys have a great day.